Then we get to the last question that says, how many golfers' scores lie outside one standard deviation of the mean? That means we have to set up what is referred to as a standard deviation interval. And that standard deviation interval, shall I write it like this? Standard deviation interval. The standard deviation interval is interval that starts x bar minus sigma. In other words, it's one standard deviation below the mean, and it carries on until the upper limit of the interval is the standard deviation added to the mean, x bar plus sigma. So I've got to calculate that interval. Alright? So we have to go 72.5 minus that. Zero shift stats for. Alright, it says my lower limit is 69,72 and the upper limit, let me just add that, add the two together, I get 75,28. Right? That's the interval we're looking at. That's one standard deviation interval, and usually they ask you how many values fall within one standard deviation. In this case they tricked you slightly. They said how many golfers' score lie outside one standard deviation. So you got to look at the data values you have, you look at the interval and you see which values fall outside of that interval. Now the only ones that you can see fall outside is the 69 there at the beginning, right? That's lower than the interval, so it's outside the interval, and then also the 78 falls outside the interval, so two of them. How many golfers? So you say two golfers scores lie outside. Alright, and that's the end of question 2. Very short stats questions. These questions count 2 marks each, so all they would like you, because you're allowed to use the calculator, just for the answer, that's 2 marks. 2 marks for the answer there. And this one, unfortunately, well, and 1 mark for finding the standard deviation interval. A little stingy on this one, it's a lot of work for just 2 marks. And that brings us to question 3.